front of a live studio audience. It's your Monday Night Community Race. Starring your featured runners, Martin Broadcloak and Possum Morpheus as commentary, J-Mac the Librarian as tracker, and Dathis, your restreamer. Guest starring Nala Kitty as the admin.
Hi. No?
No.
Look. Hi. How's everybody tonight?
I think we're good. I
yeah,
think you've thoroughly confused everyone in this booth, and you need to apologize, young man.
I apologize for nothing.
Also, there's an echo.
Let's fix that.
It's on your end, Deathis.
I kind of know. There. Just do it like this for a little bit. Yeah. So, thank you everybody for letting us that shenanigans. I'm going to actually hand it over to Martin and Possum, your actual commentators tonight. Thank you for letting us have fun with that.
Don't break anything else, okay?
I promise nothing.
Martin, Possum, you keep him in line for me, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Can anybody keep him in line?
I sure as heck can't.
Okay.
Have fun, y'all.
All right.
Possum, how do what? Huh?
Yep. That makes two of us, Martin. Well, I guess welcome to the Friday night Monday night. Martin, what day is it? I'm so confused by that intro. I don't know what's going on.
Unless
It's
you're in the
August
future,
1st.
and that's
Cool.
August 2nd.
All right. Well, it's some day of the week. We're doing some sort of community event tonight. I guess it's an edge start, and we have objectives. Go ahead, Martin.
Wow, after that intro. Welcome to Red Moon. This is the first community race to show off the Red Moon flag set for the upcoming tournament here in Possum, it's only like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
Not too much time to prepare, to decide, what direction folks want to go, whether they want to go Blue Moon, go Red Moon. Some pretty cool differences between the flag sets, but we'll see some really good runners tonight. PK, Flurry, Tybalt, and Oscar all going to put on a heck of a show for us.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a fun flag set. I mean, don't be concerned. You look at the objectives and you're just like, oh, well, those are some of the worst that Free Enterprise can throw at you. You're not wrong. Why is that, Possum?
Yeah, so one of the cool things with the Red Moon flags, and Martin and I put a lot of time in particular into the flag set design. So ZZ5 Red is something that we went back and forth and did a lot of testing on and figured, if you're going to make something different, why not make it different, but in a fun way? And that fun way was taking a pool of bosses The ones that are rude and mean, the Wyverns and CPUs and Rubies and Golbez and Kainatsu, Baigen, the Gauntlet, D-Lunars, the Magus Sisters, all of the bosses that you're just like, but I don't wanna. Throw some Evil Wall and some Antlion in there. All the things that just are annoying or rude or hard. Make them all things you have to fight. Make it no free bosses except for 1% of Water Hag that you can get in there, which we didn't get tonight, but it will show up. We've gone to using the YAML, which is a cool way of curating the experience, where you get those certain bosses that are going to show up, and you have characters that show up roughly 46% of the time for Edge, 46% of the time for Cecil, and 8% of the time for Fusoya as your starter. We got Edge, and we got a Bard, along with either a Ruby or Elements, and everybody's favorite, the package.
That's, this flag set, I mean, part of, the creation of this flag set, the idea behind it was, there's no rhyme, reason, or pattern to this flag set. When you're on a boss hunt, everything's on the table.
Yeah.
So things that take time that, usually for most runners, you sit there and you're just like, this takes like 2 minutes. I don't want to go look at this. People are going to make that call. People are going to check a pack. I mean, if it gets a boss off the table, if you're going to be cheeky, you might do it. And look at the deviation. Look at this, 4 runners, 4 different routes.
Yeah, I mean, only Asuka and PK sharing a like mind here, going to Watery Pass, but you have Tybalt immediately picking Mistcave for Dark Imps, and you have Flurry going up Ordeals first to pick the character up here. We also saw a Yang, so this is great. This is Yang, Sid, Edward, and Edge. I bet our runners right now are like, I'm glad we have this Edge, because the rest of these characters exist.
Yeah. I guess we probably should explain the flag set a little, and I guess we can approach the differences between Red and Blue Moon later. Like you said, it's Edge, Cecil, or Fu to start. Fu is the rarity. It's probably going to be Edge or Cecil. They're not anywhere else in the seed. It's you get one of these, and then the other 9, you get 6 of them, and build your party and go. That's the idea of this. So, a starting Edge gives you a ton of firepower early on, which is wonderful. It doesn't give you, the infinite power of Cecil or, the silly power of Fu, but it's a great start. And it does change a lot of your routing early on. We're on vanilla equipment. So, you come with your full loadout, which is wonderful. Because you're on T Pro. So as you're looking at some of this looting happening on Asuka's side, where it's like, where's anything functional? Good luck.
Yeah, T Pro is a bearer of a flag. It is a stark contrast to T Wildish, which is on Blue Moon. And there's a Kane. So one of the interesting things that we're seeing here is we now know all 7 party members. We have Edge, we have Kane, we have Sid, we have Yang, we have Rydia, Rosa, and Edward. So of that team, you have to make a concerted decision here because you do not have a Palom. So your end game, I want Palom doing quad 9 nukes. That ain't here. You can have Rydia doing 6K, but you have to choose. Where do you want to go with it? It's going to be very interesting where the runners go and what party comp they decide to go with. Initially, I think I'm pretty big on a Kane, a Sid, Edge, Rosa, and an Anchor for this team. But it's tough to say where our runners will go because also the back row glitch is off. And having no back row glitch when you have a team full of Zerkers, boy, oh boy, Martin, we've had a discussion about this, but that first objective on the screen, Baigen and CPU, those are 2 bosses that not having the back row glitch for, they are punishing. Yes. Even though CPU is air quotes free, man, oh man, is it going to take time.
Yeah, it's wonderful when you do half damage to the big orb the entire time in your party, and you're just staring at it like, really right now? So, Yeah, and that's part of what makes it interesting is all of a sudden a boomerang and a full moon for Edge now are very viable. Like, yes, we understand that Edge's power comes from his swords, but at the same time, he's not quite Yang in that he can take a punch, but he really can't take a punch. So having him in the front row is kind of a liability sometimes. So, and you talk about keeping Sid. Well, Sid has, unparalleled strength. So putting him in the back row with a bow and arrows, perfectly viable DPS. So these are the decisions that the runners are gonna have to do. Is Sid the anchor? Do I take Rydia? And God forbid, send her to 1,000,000 XP for nuke. Could be a thing. We don't know.
Or like, 2 for Medio.
Or Medio, or even beyond, level 81 Rydia. It could happen. But yeah, and look at Asuka's screen right now.
Yep. Well, I mean, so this is one of the things, right, with Boss Hunts' objectives.
Yeah.
That every single location has a theoretically equal chance of giving a boss.
Yeah.
Bosses don't follow logic. Everything is so ingrained in, and this is for myself, for yourself, for everyone who has run Free Enterprise. We're all so ingrained in how we're supposed to do things because you get your key items and you follow your key item logic. Bosses don't care about logic. Bosses are like, I'll see your logic and I'll throw it out the window. Obviously, you want to be efficient in how many you see, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to just do things purely logically and come out ahead. You're going to have to make some plays that may seem suboptimal to find all of your bosses. And so we see Asuka going and doing this package check, which by all accounts is a slow check. But if it hits, Asuka is firmly in the lead. Like, it's that simple. And we do see a rude boss, but not a required one on Tybalt's side. This is Ogopogo. And I know that we have this Mylon Z. We have also seen Dark Imps. We have seen a set of guards. Outside of Ogopogo, we really haven't seen anything rude, which means we could be in for a very nice moon full of rude bosses or a hook route full of rude bosses.
Or a giant full of rude bosses, 65,000 HP of CPU. We call that in some circles the character builder.
Yeah, I call that a reset. I'll go last location that and do everything else instead.
Oh, there's our lovely tier 4 courtesy of the completing Antlion Cave. Thank you for that vampire. We'll actually probably see use, so I'm okay with it. But I'm really curious to see what this package turns into if this is one of the 8.
Yeah, and I mean, one other thing of note. So we see PK actually did Antlion early in this seed. There's a reason for that. No one on this team can cast Exit outside of Zot, Rosa. And that is a Leviathan, so not going to be the answer, unfortunately. But yeah, outside of Rosa completing the Tower of Zot, no one on this team knows Exit. So if someone sees Exits in a shop, that is going to be a huge pickup as a contingency plan. So very interesting stuff.
Yeah. You brought up the idea of, obviously the back row glitch is off. In Red Moon, well, you get a life glitch. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't get anything else. Warp, gone. Back row, gone. Sylph, gone. It's, you don't eliminate, the life glitch, the, XP grind option. But everything else is off the table.
Yeah. And it's worth noting as well with this being a party of berserkers. The gear so far that's been found, our runners are left wanting right now.
Yeah.
We have not seen any of the really good swords. We've also not seen anyone go poke their head into Eblin, oddly enough. Or really a deep dive of Watery Pass. That might be predicated on not having Exit. You do still have S-standard shops, but this is a much different experience than the, hey, everyone go get all the overpowered things. This is a, how do you make do with less?
Yes.
And it'll be a great test for our runners, as it is a very different flag set than Blue Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. I mean, speaking from experience, obviously we talk about the fact, we both had hands in developing this. I've played more of these than probably most. Ogre Axe Cecil going to Z. It's not that it's outside the realm of possibility. It's more kind of the norm.
Yeah.
You get some really weird Z fights in this flag set where it isn't just turn the mages loose or drink 2 wines and sit back and relax. Like this could get really colorful really fast. So and
Yeah.
the great part is, like, in the first 7 minutes, your party, like, you kind of have a plan of what in your head of how the fights are going to go. Some of it is still equipment based, but good luck finding the equipment.
Well, there's also the thing to be said. Mike Tyson once said everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can have a plan all you want. If the bosses dictate your plan is no longer good, your plan is just no longer good.
Yeah.
And we see here, Tybalt on his side. His edge is now equipped with a dancing dagger and a short sword. Oh, baby.
It's not often you get to say that one, right? Yeah, no, okay, so you brought up Evelyn. It's T-Pro. We've both been around the block. We know what T-Pro usually translates to as far as, looting and where the good stuff is. Let's face it, it's Watery Pass and it's Evelyn.
Yeah.
Those are your two kind of de factos. Do not be surprised to see people grab, like doing Mist Cave, grabbing the 4 in there. The ones behind Waterfall, if that boss ever ends up being required, see those grabbed. Those are markedly higher than most of the other spots in the game. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so looting, I'm not gonna say, like, I've played enough of these. I have kind of standard openers that I do, and I have ideas where I want to loot, but it's so dependent on your party. Like, you look at this party and the joke is, obviously you have a Cecil. It's like, oh, I'll just go to Evelyn and pull myself a shiny stick. Well, you look at this party and you're like, what am I gonna go find? Where am I gonna find it?
And, speaking of equipment, so far we have seen from Antlion a vampire, from Fabul a Blackshear. There is no free key item, but Demist was in Ordeals 1. So Ordeals is effectively a 2-for-1 check. We also know that, this is a forced hook. This party, while it can definitely get through a hook route, again, this is not the dream right now.
No.
This is a challenge. Our runners are presented with a challenge.
Yeah.
And we also see a flying pig on Tybalt's side because the jump was queued before the pig landed. So we get to see flying pigs. Get your memes out in chat.
We love flying pigs. And we haven't brought up the fact, it's like, okay, so this is all difficult, right? Oh, by the way, it's a forced hook route. You have no idea what's sitting down there waiting for you right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, compared to Blue Moon, it's offering a different experience. It's not necessarily more difficult. It's a different challenge. Like with Blue Moon, to me, the whole thing is, how do you just go fast with power overwhelming? For me, as a supermarket sweep player, I love that. I think it's so much fun. But the puzzle side, the logic side of things, where it's like, well, how do I manipulate my way through this situation?
Yeah.
This presents a different type of challenge. And I think that's fantastic to have both of those options. As we see Tybalt take an unfortunate wipe to a back attack Dark Elf there. That is a challenge in and of itself. It's a fairly speedy Dark Elf. If it weaks the wrong party member, you can be in for a treat. The second phase does 25% damage, 25% max health damage, and lots of potential struggles there. We see our runners with Sylph, PK, and Flurry, I think very much so benefiting from having Sylph online here and keeping Rydia up, as opposed to keeping her as an anchor.
Yeah. And, these are the decisions. Like, I'm not going to say these decisions aren't going to be made in Blue Moon, but boy, do they have consequence in Red Moon. Like, you look at Rydia, it's like, oh, perfect. It's a 4 agility anchor. I'll just keep her on the ground the entire time. And then you find out that, oh, here's a Leviathan for sale on the hook route, and boy, that would have made my life a lot easier, and I probably should have kept her up, but now she's missed all this experience. And then you have runners, they're just like, oh, it's Rydia. Okay, I'll get her levels. And they reap the reward of it. And like I said, it's the variety you're going to see in this that just makes this so much fun.
And also worth noting that the spoon flag is on. Edward is actually quite a force in this flag set with the spoon. He's a source of damage you just won't normally otherwise get. A big bomb. So we have gotten a vampire, a big bomb, and a black shirt. We do at least have a required Kainatsu up here, but holy moly, Dathis. Have you considered key items and their existence?
Yeah. A 2 key item hook route? I'm here for it. Let's go. So boss hunts, I mean, we talk about the fact, okay, cool. Well, that's a boss that's required. You're going to see some very weird checks. We've talked a lot about this, and, let's just throw one out there. We don't have underground access yet. Obviously, demist is off the table, but going up and doing Zot 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that you can go up there, you might need the experience. Yeah, it's a walk to do it. Go up there, do Zot 1. You can spy Dwarf 2 by going up there and looking.
And speaking of Martin.
Oh. Well.
Asuka. Going to do a...
I was like, what if she's listening to us?
No, I doubt that, but Asuka is making all the plays that you will see runners make.
Yeah.
Because the bosses will be there.
Yeah.
And when it hits, you win. It's just that simple. And Asuka may be thinking, and this is to her credit, I'm up against PK, I'm up against Flurry, I'm up against Tibalt. Asuka may be thinking, I need to do something splashy to win. And if she goes after like the Flame Dog chest and hits a Masamune or a Bahamut, if she, finds a required boss up here and, Zot is not anywhere but like deep buried on the moon, that could be a huge advantage.
Very much so. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how. Oh wait a minute, I see a demist turn in. Hold on.
So Baron Inn has it.
I saw a demist turn in.
Yep.
And
I just want to give a couple quick shout outs. First of all, to Dathis for doing a wonderful job restreaming, and JMac for having the hardest job tracking. Oh, just kidding. But thank you, JMac, for tracking, even if you have had literally nothing to do so far other than that initial package. So yeah, JMac is the real winner so far.
Yeah. So all right, so our hook's in Baron Inn, or something that leads to the hook is in Baron Inn. So we ain't done yet. So this is what we want to see. This is fun.
I mean, hey, we got a Dragoon armor for Arcane.
Yeah,
it's actually really good.
It it's really effective when he's in the air and not targetable. And oh hey, look, it's a dwarf axe, which in literally any other flag set would be amazing. Oh.
I mean, it's still great in this because you slap it on Sid and there's your anchor problem solved. Yeah. I think it's still a very astute pickup by PK there.
Yeah, I'd buy one just to hold, just for the ability to shift your anchor to. Because I mean, we're on S standard, so cursed rings very well could be for sale somewhere.
Yeah, and hey, that's a Blizzard Spear chilling in Baron there, so that's a big pickup actually for Flurry. And we do see a Sparkle here. That is Pale Dim, so that Blizzard Spear not going to be of any use, but that Pale Dim will just fall to Edge at least.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what boss number 2 is. Oh, well, hi there.
50-50. Hey, Senator Crocodile.
Makes an appearance.
So that does put Kainatsu and the Gauntlet as required bosses that we have seen. So that's going to put us at, what, 2 of 8? 2 of 7 required, as we do not have to find all 8 bosses, only 7. but no super jet tonight, mainly because we're also missing every key item in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Which, okay, so now this lends weight to the other problem, right? You start continuing to, do these bosses, and you start finding more and more bosses on the list, but you're not finding the key items to match it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the whole idea of, face checking is like, well, I still need these key items. Like, what am I, and it's, we have different ideas about, where we draw the line at, okay, well, I'm at X amount of bosses. Okay, I'm in full on face check mode. Well, if you don't have the key items blocking certain locations, you're probably still going to attempt bosses that you don't need to do. So yeah, I wonder, like Underground, for example, I wonder how Underground's going to play out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you also might be inclined to just peek for sirens and just do 30 of them. If you're only at 2 key items and you get underground, just do all of them. Also, we do see Asuka here making another play, going through and save scumming D-Mist and going to check this and likely reset back to the top of Ordeals. Just getting that D-Mist check out of the way immediately, thinking, hey, maybe I can just fade Ordeals. I don't have Tella, I don't have Cecil. Do I really want to do this? But in this case, Ordeals, well, she's going to be disappointed by the reward or lack thereof, and possibly just reset. Well, no, Kainatsu is there.
Kainatsu, you're gonna finish that one.
But it's quite the seed so far. Not a lot of key items, and the character pool, it's very different from Blue Moon, because you don't get that power overwhelming for Kain. Normally in Blue Moon, if you see Cecil and Edge, they are auto pickups. You don't have that Zerker power here, and frankly, the mages that you're presented with, while Rosa is great, Rydia is kind of a tough sell, and there is our hook. So this is a 2 key item overworld. Well played, Dathis.
I like it.
Now, I wonder if we're going to get folks peeking Eblin now, going through for XP, and maybe some splashy items there as well.
It's a tough call. I mean, obviously the idea, you want to go fast, get down that hook route. You also think of, like the bosses. Oh, that was almost Odin only. I'm sad. You think about the bosses that we've seen that are, out of the pool. Pogo Pogo's gone, Kanazo's gone. Who's not to say this hook route could be kind of free? Like, maybe gunning it down the hook route might not be terrible.
But we've also seen the Dark Imps. We've also seen a set of guards.
Yeah.
We've seen a Mylon. We've seen a fair number of moderately free bosses as well. The potential still exists for like a Baigen hanging out on the hook route, or an Evil Wall. Like, those would be really devastating.
We can only hope. Just give us this one.
But we see PK heading over to Mysidia. I believe he's going to grab Sid and put that Dwarfax on him, and that's going to be his anchor. And I think he's going to... I don't know who he's going to get rid of. Maybe Yong would be my initial guess. Oh, he says no to Rydia with a Charm Rod, a black shirt, and a rune ring. That is surprising.
That's... Especially because you haven't seen the hook route chop yet. Because Leviathan very well could be for sale there. And we all know what that power does.
Even without, you don't have enough front row slots for all these Zerkers. This is where the back row glitch being off also bears its ugly head, that you're sitting there now with a Zerker that's going to be in the back row, may or may not be doing much. Like Sid, you need a good bow.
You need to find a full moon. That's exactly what you need right now. This exact full moon, God forbid a boomerang, whatever, something to get Edge in the back row, because the other two are potatoes otherwise.
Well, and speaking of Leviathan orbs,
see,
there's your Leviathan orb. So, like, this is where I would love to have that Rydia on the team, because, frankly, Leviathan is your best offense right now.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
Thunderclock.
it's-
Yeah, I'd grab one of those if I don't have one. All right, let's see it. So, yeah, what do you want out of here? Heroin robe's nice.
I mean, to go with those iron arrows, I guess.
You know, hey. Uh,
I mean, you know, if you find arty arrows out of here, samurai
Mhm.
bow, heroin rope, arty arrows, that's great. But again, it means that now you don't have a mage.
Yeah.
Also, double low roll on the big bomb, but the bluster is dodged. So no cats eating PK today, which is probably good for PK.
Very much so.
There's a dwarf axe for Tybalt, so it doesn't have to spend the money on one. And I think chat was saying a Stardust Rod has made an appearance as well.
Oh,
So that Rydia looking better and better.
yeah. Yeah, you were talking about seeing Vigan on the hook rod and everything. It's like, you know, Leviathan does, especially at that sort of power. Boy, does that fix a lot of hook route problems.
Sure does. And welcome to T Pro. The first trap chest we see cleared is a Silent Staff.
Woo!
Worth noting a Silk Web in a chest there in Eblin, though, is quite a big pickup, frankly. That will help out with whoever is on the hook route, as this team is a little underwhelming power-wise. PK feels he is good, though, and is going to move on, while both Flurry and Tybalt simultaneously find a Staleman and some soldiers, or some skulls, and Asuka is going through this lovely little Baron Senator gauntlet.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good to find the gauntlet early. It is. But it's a lot more fun finding the gauntlet later, at least from a viewing standpoint. There are some fun ones out there, you know, like Luca. And that's a great gauntlet.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But we see a white shirt for Flurry. So we have a silent staff and a white shirt so far. I mean, that's build your own white mage, but we also need Rosa for damage right now. So again, kind of stuck in a weird spot. And
Yeah.
back-to-back trap chests. There's some mad ogres.
Now, I did see on Flurry's side, I'm pretty sure I saw a mute knife in there.
Yeah, mute knife, some coffins, a lot of good ways to
Yeah.
deal with these ogres. And I think PK might just be heading down the hook route now, saying, I feel powerful enough, in air quotes, and gonna take his chances.
Yeah. So what haven't we talked about yet, Possum? This is Red Moon. What have we missed so far?
I think we've pretty much hit most of the high points of it.
Yeah.
You know, the big things, the character curation that you're just not going to see. 2 of 3, either Edge, Cecil, or Fusoya, as one of the 3 will be your starter. The other 2 won't appear. And then T Pro, and there's a Masa. That is huge.
Hello.
That is, I'm good now. I'm going down the hook route,
Yeah.
because going from short sword to Masa is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's a small upgrade. All right, moment of truth. Our first look.
Oh,
Well,
Asura is also on that list of things that aren't great. However, I think we have seen mute knives.
sure
So-
have.
There's a mute knife. I think we're going to have Tybalt and Flurry rocking mute knife Masamune. I think
Mhm.
PK is going to be rocking mute knife short sword, I believe.
Yep.
So going to be a bit of a difference there. And that's also a fight where, frankly, Leviathan is wonderful for. You
Mhm.
double Starveil, you get Edge Zerked, you launch a Leviathan or 2, fight is over pretty quick.
Yep. Looks like PK's taking the ogre fight here. Well, I mean, you have a mute knife, you know, and they might still have a couple coffins left over if you decide to burn them. So, I don't honestly, like you brought up, maybe you steal a few Bacchus while you're in this fight.
Yeah, stealing Bacchus is not a bad idea. Takes
Right.
some of the burden off of Rosa,
Mhm.
who currently has to do white mage duties and damage duties.
Yeah.
You know, Edge obviously helping quite a bit with that mute knife here, but it's one of those situations where if you can make the life of Rosa easier for this party, it can help out. And maybe that's the reason for keeping Yang over Rydia for PK, is he's just going to use Yang as a chemist.
Pretty good chemist. A lot of HP. In the back row, doesn't die very easily. Yeah, I could see it. All right, T-Pro, let's see the reward. I have questions.
Well, build your own white mage continues.
Yeah, it's functionally useful.
That is a life staff, so we have upgraded from silent staff to life staff. Although if you do have a heroine robe and a silent staff, you can do some pretty good bonking on Asura. Probably 3,000 a hit, honestly.
I was gonna say I would love to see somebody do that. I really would, just to give her the spotlight for a minute. So, but yeah, no, this is definitely showcasing T-Pro in all its glory. And you know what we would think is, okay, well, it's a hook route, it's not terrible. I mean, you don't need gear to get down the hook route, but boy, does it help.
It takes it from being a cumbersome ordeal to something that is, instead of being harder for the sake of harder, is just different.
Yeah.
You have, you're still presented. Obviously, it's a hook route. It can be very rude. But you are given all the characters up front. You're always going to have 5 characters for these. So even though you might be gear challenged, you will always have the ability to have 5 characters and to construct a party that should be able to reasonably get through any hook route. There might be some that are more difficult than others, but that's the case for any hook route.
Yeah.
But Water Hag, that's not going to be super difficult.
That's also sadly not an objective tonight.
Missed the 1%.
I've played a fair amount of these and I still haven't hit it yet. I'm waiting. It's going to happen.
It's going to be great. It's going to happen in like the finals of...
I wasn't going to be too greedy. I was going to be like quarterfinals.
It'll happen in like round of 8 or 4 or 2. It's going to happen, and it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be like, hey, water Hag.
Exactly. What is this? And they'll be buried behind the second fight on the giant or something for good measure.
And chat pointing out Asuka, who we know loves yeeting Rydia, is recognizing the power of Leviathan here and is keeping Rydia.
Yeah.
I like this play, frankly. I think that Rydia represents a lot of power and represents a black mage, which you otherwise don't have access to. You don't, however, need to worry about the warp glitch, as was stated earlier. So Rydia does lose a little bit of value, but I think overall still a very strong keep. And I like the play by Flurry, Tybalt, and Asuka of keeping that Rydia. We also see PK going with double Star Veil strats on Asura. Makes a lot of sense because she's got a lot of health.
Also, I just like to point out Anna right now, finally calling out Merton. No, this is not Final Fantasy 6, folks. This is 4.
Better get your fire and wind resistance out.
Yeah. So obviously, we're all, in the hook route, going down the hook route. Asuka, I feel like, is going to be ahead of the curve slightly because of that Zot 1 check.
And package. The big difference, though, is Asuka is not going to be anchored here in any way, whereas the rest of our other runners are. That will prove to make the Asura fight more difficult. Water Hag should still be fine, but the Asura fight, it could get a little squirrely just based on the volume of punches that are going to be coming in. There is at least one rune ring that most of our runners have found. So that should help mitigate some of that, but I am a little worried as Asura with, what is it, 30? It's 30 something agility at this spot.
Yeah, it's like 32 or 36 roughly. Yeah,
that ain't pleasant.
No. Carice in chat bringing up the fact that don't have exit warp can still make for speedy exiting. Let's not forget there's no warp glitch, so somebody decides, or Luca ends up being required. reverse walking Luca is a treat, let me tell you. Or it makes it so much better.
Yeah, it
It
absolutely
really
does.
does.
Yeah, and PK, no Masamune, able to get through that Asura and is going to be our first runner making it
Hey,
through. First runner on Restream. We do have what, 15-ish
a
folks? I
lot
have
of
no idea.
people.
There's a lot of
Lot of
people
people.
running this one, but
Yeah.
I know that we have a big crowd off stream as well. So while we do have 4 fantastic runners on stream here, there's a lot of folks running, and we see a sparkle at the top of tower. That's one
Ooh.
of my least favorite spots for Wyvern because you just don't have the power to beat it down. And if you want to Leviathan that, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
kill you.
Yes. Yeah. It like you said, it's not that the power side. Also, it's buying it. Like, yeah, you know how many bosses are left in that pool, but okay, I'm gonna go walk up and look, and then it is Wyvern, and you have no way to kill it, and you're like, well, I just wasted all that time walking up here. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
And hot on his heels, also having done all of Eblen, Tybalt going to be about a minute behind PK here, but up a Masamune and up some XP.
Hmm.
Liking where Tybalt is sitting right now as well.
Hmm.
Now, of note, everyone is down a package check and a Zot 1 check to Asuka right now. And
Yeah.
she is also still in this Asura fight, roughly the same time.
Hmm.
So, for those who are always wondering why Asuka says she's not good at this game, this is proof that she is pretty dang good at this game.
Very much
Uh,
so.
and we also see ninja swords for sale. So PK getting a little bit of a bailout here,
Yeah.
not getting that Masa, but going to have at least double ninja here, which is going to make a huge difference for him.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Yeah, no, that's actually one thing we didn't talk about. That's the one thing we didn't bring up on Red Moon. So Blue Moon starter kits are a thing. Red Moon starter kits. Hi, Cursed Ring. Hello.
Ooh,
Well, there's our anchor fix.
yep,
You don't come with camping gear in Red Moon. You don't get any. So, shopping. I mean, a lot of us, Possum, you can speak, and Dwarf has got everything.
dwarf. Yep.
Literally, Dwarf, like, you don't have to go anywhere else. Dwarf has everything. Shopping in this flag set.
Yeah.
Not having tents, cabins, only having 10 life potions. It's different.
Very different. Also of note, exits for sale in
Yeah.
Dwarf. And
Yeah.
as we discussed before, there are no natural exit casters on this team. You have
Mhm.
Rosa only, and that would be post Zot.
Mhm.
And well, by virtue of not having seen any key items, we certainly haven't found the Earth Crystal yet.
No. And I mean, do you want to walk out of the march? No, I want to exit out of the march.
Right.
I want to exit out of a lot of places.
Now, what I'm curious about is to see, does anybody just take the leap,
Mhm.
buy 30 sirens, and go for it? Also, that is gross. That is a
That
Val,
is
not required, by the way, but
no.
Val at Dwarf 1 is nasty.
Yes, it is. But no, the whole 30 in a dream. I mean, you look at this party. I don't know, Possum. As you say, nuke is a heck of a drug,
Hmm.
but your party has like 3 Zergers in it.
I would be very inclined to make my party Edge, Yong, Rosa, Rydia with a Sid Anchor at this point
Mm,
and do like 12 sirens maybe right away.
yeah.
Rydia
Cure,
with Leviathan is like good enough. Yeah, get to Cure 4
Cure
on
4
Rosa
flavor.
basically.
Yeah, and just
Yeah,
shut it down. Yeah.
yeah. And one of
Yeah.
those things where you get to a point where you're super strong without committing to a full 30, and 8 or
Mhm.
10 sirens is way faster.
Hmm.
So
And I mean, let's face it, too. You're at 2 key items.
yeah,
You're not getting 10 anytime soon.
I mean you might,
Just
but
go to the sirens.
and Asuka is through as well, 39
Hey.
minutes and 5 seconds. So that puts Asuka about 4 minutes behind or behind PK, about 3 behind Tybalt, 2 behind Flurry. But again, up Zot 1 and the full package check. That's Asuka holding her own against PK, Tybalt, and Flurry, who, yeah, again, Asuka's good at this game. Don't let her lie to you and say she's not.
Exactly.
The phenomenal hook route time for all the ancillary things that she did on the Overwood. Hey, there's a required boss. That is DKC at Dwarf 2. This is really nasty because you just came off a Val fight where people could be at very low health, and then you run into DKC. That is quite the little wombo combo there. If you have people who have just been weaked. In PK's case, he's going to get through it just fine. But we have to be a little bit fearful for Tybalt in case anyone else gets weaked on his side, either Joe Buck or Mr. Motson there. Got it. I'm hoping Joe Buck gets weaked and then dies to DKC. I'm not going to lie. That's just a me thing, though. I shouldn't be so biased.
Yep. Well, I mean, DK. Oh, wait. You know what the important part of all that was, right?
That there is no
J-Man got to push a
justice.
button.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, look at that. Number 2 is lit up on PK's side. Any bets on the prize?
Another white shirt. Oh, well, no.
Well,
The sad ruby, as we like to call it on this flag set.
Very sad. Because why? No earned characters. So, wait, Possum, if there's no earned characters, what's in the bed?
Bacon, but not our objective.
Delicious bacon.
Yeah. So anytime you have a sand ruby, there's a pig in the bed. Tower of Zot, 2 pigs. The package, there's a pig. Baron Inn, there's a pig. Yeah, basically got a bunch of piggies that are just chilling. But yeah, that is the sad ruby in this flag set, not the sand ruby. I forget who came up with that name for it. But yeah, adorable. And CPU.
It's box wine. I see box wine.
There is definitely some wine, and for this party, that is going to be quite nice. So this is the good thing, at least, right? Without S standard, man, would this be awful.
Yeah.
And we tested a sports physician. Well, that is so appropriate.
I played this with S Pro settings on, and let me tell you, that was an event.
Yeah. Imagine, folks, this flag set with S Pro instead of S standard. We put that into testing, and it was awful.
Yep, we did that. Well, we did S standard, no J. We tried that one. That was almost just as bad. So, yeah.
No need to make things harder for the sake of making them harder.
A sports physician. It's a good job. Also, a pair of Odins. Wow, that's a lot of Odin.
I've got to go find the Odin-only shop and sell it, and then we can
I wish
choose
there
to
was
imbibe.
One. I do. There wasn't. It had Succubus there as well. It was very sad.
But I am excited for the CPU at the Queen of Summon Monsters spot. As we've kind of talked about, CPU stinks with no back row and all Zerkers. And the super weird thing even is, yeah, you can Leviathan the orbs, but then people die.
Yeah, 2 people are dead.
So there's just no good way to go about it.
No, Leviathan is your finisher in that fight, but that means you still are doing roughly 17,000 damage to that back orb.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Jumping with a blizzard spear, maybe darting with edge.
Yeah. Like, we talk about shopping in this flag set, and, with an edge, like, you have reason to celebrate if you find a full moon or a boomerang in a shop. Like,
absolutely. So I believe we also know this is the 2 guards because we saw the 4, I think, on Hobbs. So 2 coffins and you're out of this fight, which makes the king spot fairly reasonable. Just, got to get those 2 coffins off.
Yeah.
Flurry has one coffin.
Uh-oh. All right, so one coffin and a lucky toad cast. Let's go with that.
Yeah, and Rydia needs to not get bopped here.
Yeah,
This is a little sketchy because I don't know when the last time Flurry saved was.
I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Actually, Rosa might have had access to size too. That may have been a
Or
possibility.
Charm, even.
Yeah. Well, there goes. All right.
The stop is probably the wisest. I think it's
Yeah.
quicker to cast than Toad.
Yeah.
But this would be a really good recovery on Flurry's part. He still has to deal like 17,000 damage, but does have a Mute Knife, I believe, to go with a Masa, which will help with that. But probably need to get a blink on this Rydia. I do like his approach here, trying to scrap this fight out, because again, no idea when the last save was here. So
Although,
could be.
speaking of not saving, Asuka giving us our first look at the top of tower.
Well, I mean, follow your potential objectives, right?
Yeah.
We've seen Pale Dim. We've seen Ogopogo. So this is a 33% chance of a Wyvern. Not a pleasant one, but a 33% chance nonetheless. That is D-Lunars, though.
Not what we're looking for. So, once again, this goes back to, oh, well, it's not a boss I need. I'll just reset. I have 2 key items. You're kind of doing this fight.
Yeah, you're a little bit committed at this point to see this through. It's a rough spot for sure, but I think it's one you have to go for. And speaking of going for,
oh, look at this.
PK, the king himself of YOLO. Let us see how much YOLO we in fact get here and how aggressive. Because one of my favorite things and one of the coolest parts about CPU, and this is a discussion, Martin, I know we've had many a time, the better a runner you feel you are at Free Enterprise, the more spectacularly you can die to CPU.
Yes. Very. Boy, let me tell you how many times Plan Q can go sideways. Like, oh, I'm counting damage. I'll be fine. I can just berserk everybody. Oh, wow. I got distracted. Did you see what was on Tybalt's side?
Well, I also saw what was on Flurry's side. It's the Darkness Crystal.
Flurry. Yeah, I missed the Flurry part of it. That's interesting.
Hey, Martin, you like Mac Giants?
I mean, you got the party for it. I've been saying for a long time, I would love to see this flag set where a Mac G grind now becomes viable.
Yeah.
But we have sirens.
Yeah, I know.
Someday, Possum, someday we will get a seed.
It'll happen.
Where sirens aren't available, and it's a thing.
Yeah, so we do have Darkness Crystal, we have Moon Access, we now have effectively 3 bosses accounted for. Theoretically, the moon could have everything.
Could. Probably not likely, but could.
We see Tybalt making a play on some sirens here after having cleared out that king spot, said no to the orbs. We'll probably be back for them later, but I do wonder, will he head on up to the moon after doing a bit of a grind here, maybe get Rosa to cure 4? Or is he just gonna, do a couple and just kind of, do his own thing? Because I'm very curious the approach here. It's very unlikely we get to 10 key items on the blue planet, so I do wonder how many sirens we're gonna get.
Yeah.
We have the silenced yellow dragon. Spoiler: silence does not stop thunder.
Also, this frog on Asuka's side is going to cause problems.
Yep. This is
because every time it hits, it counters with that, and then that, and
well, the good news is the frog is not punching down. The bad news is
nobody
the frog
else
is the only one alive.
Yeah.
So you do get a break here. The frog, the D-Lunar just kind of hangs out. Leviathan Sylph, something to try to finish this. I think the frog will live here. But this Leviathan, I hope, will kill.
Wow, 5,300
Nice.
damage? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it kills. That's a good number.
Yeah, and PK through the orbs as well. So Asuka going to give us our top of tower peak, which is a Bahamut
Oh,
orb.
hello.
That is going to help with the orbs down in the Fey March, and also just be awesome in general.
Yeah.
And a glass hat from CPU. So let's just piece this all together. Martin, we're out of checks on the blue planet, right? With 4 key items?
Yeah.
That's everything, I believe.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Sheila won. Sheila won.
Oh, the turn in. Be a longsword. Just be a longsword. Do it. Just do it. What a weird seed.
Indeed. The moon is definitely going to have value,
Yeah.
either with key items or bosses. But the funniest part about this is if there's like 4 required bosses on the moon, you could literally finish this with 5 key items.
Mhm.
You could have the darkness crystal, the hook, the package, the sand ruby, and the crystal.
Mhm.
And you could just be done.
Obligatory. Yay, I can get underground now.
Yeah. So sorry, 5 key items. So yeah, the moon gates everything. What a
Wow.
wonderful first red moon seed for everyone to get to see.
Boy, if this doesn't get you to want to enter and race Red Moon, I don't blame you.
I'm going to apologize for the double audio for a moment, but you're all welcome.
Yeah, I would like to give a special shout out to our restreamer tonight. Well done, Daphis. Always a pleasure. And thank you, JMac, for pushing, well, the limited buttons, but still the buttons.
There'll
And,
be more.
Our runners, PK, Tybalt, Oscar, Flurry, all putting on a heck of a show. And of course, Martin. Always a pleasure.
It is.
Especially this.
It's been a while since we've been in the booth, and this has been a thing.
Question from Niabari. Do you just do Giant after this? It ain't the worst idea. You could even do Giant on the way up.
Mhm.
You know, we really haven't seen that many bosses. We've seen, what, 3 of them, right? CPU, DKC, Gauntlet. Oh, no, I guess we've seen 4. The CPU, DKC, Gauntlet, Kainatsu. Now, that being said, if you do the Giant, what can you realistically get through at 65K?
Yeah.
If you find Baigen there, how do you get through it right now? Like, Bahamut will do it for Oscar.
I know the answer to this. You hit the reset button, and then you move back not to your last save, but the one before that. Yes, that's how.
Like, Ruby there? I mean, not fun. Golbez? Not fun. Wyvern? No.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's the problem with Giant, is, like, yes, you can go there. How do you win those fights?
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Ruby.
Now see, here we go. This is the danger of it, right? That's not a required boss. You have no key items in your hand.
Well, that is a required boss. Ruby is required.
Oh, Ruby? Okay.
So, I don't know. Have we seen Elements yet?
Okay, so it might be a 50-50 on it being required.
Yeah. So Elements have been seen at Baron 1. Thank you, JMac.
Okay.
So that is required.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
let's go with the argument it wasn't required, but it's still that mindset of, okay, I'm up here. Non-required bosses might very well still be required.
Absolutely. Because we still have Zatu that we don't know about, the Twin Harp, the Tower Key, Luca, Baron. There's still a lot of bosses floating. And for all of our runners, except for Asuka, Zot 1 and Package, also still out there.
Yeah.
So just a lot of information still to be gleaned, but Tybalt does have that Blizzard Spear that I think most of our runners found in the Baron Inn, which will allow him to jump his way to victory here. It's not going to be pretty, but it will be doable.
That's not.
Oh, that's elements.
That's elements.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd reset out of this.
Yeah. Well, no.
I mean,
You just need to get it to ruby phase.
I guess you can go Masamune Mute Knife and just blow
Yeah.
it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll take
That and have Kane
a
in the
lot
air
of
and come
damage.
down, and bad things are gonna occur. So, or
The
just
issue is
implode.
we have Yon casting Bear.
As he does.
And we gotta get it to phase 2 before everyone dies.
Look, that's a future problem. Okay. We'll
And
get.
Asuka chose violence. There is no justice. There is only edge go burr. Actually saving
Ooh,
time,
that's a number.
frankly.
All right,
PK, a man after my heart, going for the hair dryers.
Oh, it's not an adamant armor though. It can't be Possum. I know. It's sad.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what would make this check a lot easier, Martin?
What?
Leviathan. Also, that's a pink tail. That is a non-gating item. But
It'll be a crystal sword.
I hope it is. But it would be very interesting if Tybalt goes to peak that, and it gives, let's say, an Avenger.
That would be the best case scenario right there.
Even Artemis arrows would be very interesting. So I do wonder if we will get a peek of that from Tybalt. If maybe he leaves a save here and goes and says, I might want to go see if I can find me a little bit of power, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
I mean, there's so many zonks that come out of that pink tail, though. I get it. But like you said, any little bit of power right now, when you look at what you're working with, boy, does it make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a Masa Ninja Edge in Tybalt and Flurry's side.
Yeah.
So we have good Zerker power for one of our party members.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
One.
But we do have perfect anchoring, which is very helpful as well. We do see PK getting through and picks up.
Serves you right, PK.
There's the Bahamut orb.
Yep.
Again, that's two Bahamuts. We now know that there's one at the top of tower and one in the hair dryers. And if ever there were a seed telling you, "Hey, take that Rydia," I feel like we've found it.
I'm still hoping that someday we'll be able to use multiple orbs and just power them up.
Bahamut +1.
Yeah. You think Bahamut's bad? Just wait. I'll give Globe 199 a run for its money by the time I'm done.
No joke. Well, and speaking of Bahamut,
hey,
in case you needed another reminder, we have found Bahamut.
Also, hey, for anybody that didn't notice, when Tybalt decided to, walk down, did you notice the lack of a cutscene? Wasn't that nice?
It always gets you the first time, though.
It does. Like, you're like, oh, cool, I got 15 seconds. I can, collect my thoughts, grab a drink, etc. It's like, wait, I'm still moving. What? This is weird. Yeah, see, Xeno is... See, she's after my heart. Sylph +9.
Yes, heal your party for Asura levels of healing and deal all of the damage.
Yes! We're there!
So now on Flurry's side, he is going to air quotes zonk on this check. I'm curious to see if he walks this Bahamut orb out. He has Leviathan. I don't know. This is very tough.
Bahamut is so good, though.
Looks like he's going to keep it.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, well.
Fake this out. And Tybalt's party members have eaten a second nuke for a second breakfast, I guess. But we'll see what this Bahamut gives, and that is a Baron key.
Hello.
Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't remember what our starting boss was, but that could be of some use.
My mind was still processing the intro. Like I wasn't live for like the first like 2-3 minutes. So no, it was
Baron
like
key
a bosses there.
gave Ruby. Ruby was the starting boss.
Oh,
So
well,
that's interesting. Going top down, but not chasing that. We're what? Ruby
But-
there would be 5. Yeah, you need both to hit, so never mind.
yeah,
You go peek the rest of the moon.
It's one in the pocket, as they say. I think if you hit another boss on the moon, that's where the decision becomes interesting. And that's what you're going to see during this. You will probably see it during the race, where it's like, oh, I'm at 5 bosses. I have a Baron key. 6 is sitting in front of me. Let's do it. Let's just pull the trigger and see what happens. You either win the race by 10 minutes or you lose by 20.
Yeah, and you got to be willing to do that.
Yeah. That's what makes it great.
We have Flurry heading back to Dwarf Castle. Looks like he wants some more sirens. So
Sirens.
we'll see how many he does here. Buys a stack of 9. Might also be doing some shopping for a curse ring or more ninja swords. We'll see what he's opting to go for.
You know what makes sirens very happy, Possum?
Mages?
10 key items.
Oh, that too, but we're not getting there.
No, we aren't. We're an hour and a minute in and we're at 6.
Yeah. Well, 7 for Tybalt. I know he does have that Baron key. That is an Odin, which is not required, but is on the Rude boss pool. But yeah, that's a boss that is definitely doable with a Thunderclaw.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know if he has or not. I don't, however, see any camping gear on Tybalt's side now that he is up here, which is something that you had talked about earlier.
Moon
not
without
having camping gear.
That's fine. Psh, don't worry about it. Look, I have a great solution to the camping gear problem. You ready?
Ethers.
Okay, well, that would be an acceptable one, but also that succubus.
Yeah.
Just steal the MP from Edge. Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
That'd be enough. That'd get you through.
Silkweb fires on Odin.
But do you have an illusion?
Oh, are we going Thunderstruck?
He's gonna take the damage and try to do it. You know how hard you can get. Okay.
This is a choice.
Except he jumped early. Oh,
well,
hey,
the Odin's not going to kill.
No, it isn't. It's going to do hundreds of damage, but yeah, you might need to get that Cure 3 off there. I guess the illusion works too.
He's still going to need the Cure 3 to survive this Odin.
Yeah.
Oh, got the jump.
All right. As soon as this first swing comes out, Thorage. Now. No. That's late.
Oh, that's too late. Yeah. Right idea.
Yep. It was close. Yeah, battle speed 1 timings. I get to speak on this. I actually did this yesterday. When you come down with Kane after that second Zantetsuken, as soon as that swing fires, you're in the menu throwing your Thorage.
Yeah.
If you are late on it, you're done.
Also, I think Flurry would like words with Iridia right now. Dragon Whip only did 1400 and did not kill the egg. Yeah. Probably not thrilled right now with that outcome.
Oops. Yeah, I mean, it's a Dragon Whip. It's quad damage against an egg. It should be fine. Okay. Yeah, see, that's better.
Yes and no. I don't see an illusion up this time. Yeah. It's the right idea, and he had it the first time.
He did. He did.
We have PK purchasing some strength rings. has decided to plunge into Baron.
Hey.
So we do get some more divergence here. All of our runners at this point are probably thinking something to the extent of A, where's my key items? B, where's my bosses? And
Mhm.
C, what have I gotten myself into tonight?
Uh-huh. Exactly.
So
'Cause
I don't
remember,
blame,
you volunteered.
yeah, don't blame PK at all for making
No.
this choice. I think it's one that, you know, and PK is a known Baron fader as well. He
Mhm.
does not like Antlion, and he does not like Baron. So
Mhm.
to see him do both of them right away is pretty fun for me, at least as a viewer.
Yeah.
I also hope that Tybalt gets this Thunderstruck here.
He should have it in the air now. And now the only bad part about this is he's gonna need a parry because he needs to get on, or he could use it. Yang, that's fine. Now. No, you can't wait. You can't wait. That's late.
It might have fired quick enough.
It
Yeah, he got
did.
it that time. Okay. Close. I think he didn't have enough people alive that it fired fast enough. I think if he actually had more people alive, it wouldn't
Yeah.
have worked
Yeah.
because of, you know, shenanigans. And a
Mhm.
ribbon, Dathis, buddy, pal, friend, guy. Um, the key items. We got a pink tail from Value Cave,
It's gonna be a hyper
a
check.
ribbon,
It
a
is.
ribbon from the Crystal Sword Altar. That Baron key might lead to like 27 key items. Again, though, you don't necessarily even need them.
No.
Like if all the bosses are found, key items don't matter.
No. But at the same time, who's not to say your last two bosses are behind Luca and the tower key?
Could be.
Yeah. Never seen that happen. Or
Yeah, we
behind
do
the package and Twin Harp. Never seen that happen.
Yeah, in the last 2 days. Um, but we do also see Asuka now going and taking on this CPU fight. Also worth noting, Asuka has kept Edward. So if the spoon shows up, that is another potential advantage that Asuka would have, which would be a second meaningful Zerker. Because frankly, Blizzard Spear Cane does not exactly strike fear into things the way Spoonward does.
No.
So, you know, it will also give her a potential advantage against Odin on the moon, having that Edward available.
Yep. Also, I just like to throw out PK doing the swag walk down to the Odin throne, as one does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice to make, and Antlion's not on the moon, I guess, but this is not a fun spot for Antlion either.
No.
He does have a lot of levels, though.
All right, what's that?
Oh.
Boy.
Speaking of not fun spots, have you ever seen a vampire do 800 damage?
You ever seen the punches all do like 1500 to 3k? Because that's about what's coming.
Oh, that's Baigen at the Masa altar. That is not a fun one, friends. And Tybalt, he does have tents. Okay, I thought he had no camping gear. Those 10 tents are going to make all the difference.
Yep.
That's still not fun, though, at all.
No, it isn't. You know what makes that fight better?
Leviathan? Bahamut? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is kind of Rydia the Seed. Yes, Edge obviously is the star of the show, but this is kind of, to me, this is like Rydia, Edge, Rosa are your three MVPs, and the other four just kind of exist at the moment. But like I will say, PK for not having that Rydia is still doing a heck of a job. Compared to our other runners who do have that Rydia, Asuka in particular with the Bahamut. Still leveraging that extremely well. And I love the divergence that we got out of everybody as well. When we see Flurry getting through elements, Tybalt has found karate, which is air quotes free, but I think Edge is about to have a bad day here.
Slightly.
And, PK doing battle with his Antlion as well. Yeah. Which, good thing he's got all those levels, so the swag walk would not have been fun.
No, at all. Something to note, Possum. We know where 6 bosses are. Boy, those last two, though, don't inspire a lot of fun feelings.
Hope you have Star Veils. Because Golbez and Wyvern are those last two.
Depending where those two are, eek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dathas. You want to do the giant?
Not for either of them. Hey!
There it is.
Ooh.
There it is.
That's a source of damage. I think PK may be more than committed to this party, though, already. I don't know that he's going to switch things up. I would highly consider it, personally.
It's a nice face check dart.
That's true. You do have edge to dart in.
Yeah, but I mean, we talk about Spoonward and Spoonward's liability and the fact there's no back row glitch. So in the front, he basically gets looked at sideways and he dies.
Yeah. Typically, you want a couple Spoonward with Cecil so you can get cover strats going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's usually the best way to approach it. Well, we found a key item on Tybalt's side. I refuse to name it. And we found a boss on PK's side called Octomab on the Baron Throne.
Oh, music. It's I mean, we all love music. Except for Harumph, but, you know, that's fine. It's the amount of time it takes just to see the boss.
Yeah,
like,
but in Tybalt's...
I mean, you there's walks you can do. You can walk to Zotwar.
Sure.
You can walk to Luca. You can walk literally anywhere, and it's going to be faster than that Twin Harp.
You could, or you could go there because you're on Restream and probably hit a boss anyway, because that's how the world works.
Yes, very much so.
But we do see Tybalt going to go after that Baigen, mainly because he has to. Even with no pass, you go after that Baigen, you get it done now. If it leads to something like a Tower Key, a Luca Key, an Earth Crystal, you're then given the impetus to go after one of those checks also.
Yep.
You pick up a Twin Harp, you got to go after that. Baron is probably on the menu, though, before anything else for Tybalt, mainly because we know that Ruby is there. So, you know, in PK's side, that Ruby represented his fifth boss. This Baigen represents Tybalt's fifth boss with knowledge of 6. But we'll see where PK ends up going here and what this key item is. Well, Asuka does have the big orb down and is just left with the baby orbs now.
Yay.
And that is a Protect Ring.
Wow.
Okay, a spoon and a Protect Ring.
Nothing.
So, Twin Harp?
Wow. So, Possum.
Yeah.
You know, when we were brainstorming this flag set,
Yep.
we talked about the idea of how long a seed like this should take.
Yep.
And we talked, and the idea was, okay, hour and a half is a, good timeline for, okay, some seeds will go faster. Some seeds will go faster.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, you can get an hour-long seed, and you can get 2-hour-long seeds.
And then
welcome to variance, my friends. That's one of the exciting things to me about boss hunts, Martin, is you have no earthly idea what you are getting into when you start. And I think from a runner perspective, I love it. That's one of the reasons I love mystery seeds, is I don't know what I'm going to get. With boss hunts, I don't know. With like our last tournament, Adamant Cup, one of the things that you go into that knowing is that you're going to have to do basically everything, and it's just a matter of how efficiently can I do everything. With boss hunts, and especially with a flag set like this, your challenge is not necessarily how difficult it is. Your challenge is, what are you prepared for? Are you prepared for jet seeds? Are you prepared for slogs? Are you prepared for something in between? And you got to keep your mental right for all of those. And I think that it's a really cool representation of a lot of the different things that Free Enterprise can offer, all in one. Now, I know some folks just hate boss hunts, and that's fine too. No one flag set is ever going to be the cure-all. It doesn't exist. But I think this is a really cool representation of one of the ends of the spectrum that this flag set can give you.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Daphnis, for being a part of that. Only a 600 damage vampire. Not too bad. Tybalt's got everyone blinked, though, so this fight should be well in hand now. And we see Flurry just going around poking his head into different bosses and just seeing what's out there.
Yeah.
So he is in face check mode.
Well, he's
for
about
now.
to be in rude awakening mode here in about 10 seconds.
Yeah. About to be playtime with old snake arms.
Yeah. Like, surely this has to be a boss I need. Why, yes. Yes, it is.
It's honestly the worst one. Well, no, Ruby probably is worse here, but you know where Ruby is already.
Yeah, boss is like,
do I have to? Yes, you do. Normally, you would just Bacchus everyone up immediately.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hey, Tybalt's through.
Yeah, Tybalt, our first runner to get through Baigen. That is going to be objective number 1 for Tybalt. And he's going to be rewarded with samurai arrows, it's the Twin Harp.
We haven't done Ribbon, though, right?
Nope, but it's the Twin Harp.
Of course it's the Twin Harp.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do Ribbon Room at this point. I don't think
it'll be the... Let's
800...
go Crystal Sword and half a Forge behind Ribbon. Let's
896 damage Vampire Martin on Flurry's side. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I really want break damage limit. I really do. I want to see someone do like 40,000 damage and be like, yeah, that's why this spot is terrible.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If you're in Tybalt's shoes, you know Ruby is at Baron.
Yep.
Do you do the Ribbon Room, or do you go chase Twin Harp and Baron?
I do Ribbon. It's not even a question.
Same here.
Yeah. So here's why. There's 2 reasons why.
Is it the key items, potentially?
That's one of the reasons why.
Oh, boy.
Well...
Are you sure you do the Ribbon Room?
Something about working for it. Yeah.
So, about that Ribbon Room?
Yeah.
You guys sure you want to do that?
About that Ribbon Room.
Now we're here now.
How about it?
Yeah. Oh, that's 42,000 HP of a wall.
Yeah.
And Asuka making the play of let's go to the giant, which, I mean, might be better than this evil wall, not gonna lie.
Accurate, yes. Okay, so Ribbon, reason why. Ruby is 6. You have 3 key items that gate 3 bosses. You still have an item that gates probably at least 1 more item in the pan. You also have a rat tail that could probably turn into something. Something's got to be behind this Ribbon Room. It has to be. So your gamble isn't so much that, oh, my 7th boss is in Baron. It's that there's an item behind here, and my answer is not the Twin Harp. And speaking of answers... Uh-oh.
Do we have 65,000 HP of Wyvern?
Uh-oh.
Although, this is interesting, because you can get a Veil up. You can throw a Silk Web out.
Yep.
You can
shut the fight down. Yeah.
Go take out your person with a Veil up. You can parry some actions, and you can quick kill Plague here. And taking 65,000 HP and making it a minute-long fight, maybe less if it's perfectly executed, is a huge deal. It's a pretty difficult thing to pull off, though, to be frank, especially when you don't have perfect anchoring.
Funny thing, well, okay, that's the point I was gonna make, is like with a perfect anchor, Asuka's party is actually set up really well for it, because you know who kind of can throw a veil and then implode 5 seconds afterwards? Edward.
Yeah. The other issue, though, without being anchored here is Plague is almost always RA1.
Yeah.
And I don't know that a double slow even gets him down to RA2, which means I don't know that
agility.
With 89 agility, I don't know if you can actually get Plague to RA2 to have the action timer actually resolve and have Plague count itself out. I'm not certain on that.
it's dangerous, especially in this flag set. Just like because it is a boss hunt, right? And you don't know which bosses are going to be where. Is it possible to play this game, without solid anchoring? Of course it is. But boy, does it add some time to certain things, like exactly this.
Yep. Oh, and Rydia has fallen over.
Wow, that ribbon room.
Yep, that's
Has a tower key and a pan.
that is nearly certainly go mode, unless it's exactly Zot 2 and Sealed Cave.
Yeah.
You have access to everything else at this point, and that's also 10 key items for Tibalt.
Yep.
Which means if he wants to grind, he can do so before doing any other checks. I think that puts Tibalt pretty squarely in the driver's seat for our restreamed runners right now. PK is fairly hot on his heels, having also done all of Baron, which does not look like Tibalt going to Baron first, which is interesting to me. Might be doing Pan. Going Tower.
I was wondering, well, you brought up 10 key items. It's like, okay, well, if he doesn't think, I mean, he got through Baigen. Like, whatever is in Baron Basement right now doesn't concern me. I got through Baigen. So
True.
You either do Baron or you do Tower Key, Pan, and do your Sirens while you're underground. And just blow up some eggs.
Did Tibalt peek top a tower before going to the moon? Because if he didn't, this also makes a little bit of sense, because if he didn't, he knows it's a sparkle, but he doesn't know which.
Yeah. So this actually would be not terrible for him then. So, yeah, no, that's fair.
And JMax saying Tibalt did not peek top a tower, so this does make a lot of sense then, is that he's now seen going right by the tower key as well. So has now seen a number of bosses, and this might just represent his go mode if it's Wyvern. I wonder if he just resets out if this is not Wyvern right away, given what he has. I would have left a save
at the bottom
halfway up the tower.
He didn't do that either. So, yeah.
And then peek the tower key, and if it was nothing, then you could just reset out of that. So one of those things where save scumming and leaving a trail of saves all over is also going to be a really cool little exhibition for a lot of runners in this. I'm looking forward to that kind of gamesmanship part of it too.
Yeah.
And that is D-Lunars, and looks like we're taking the fight.
Okay. So this is where things get a little weird. You think about it, you look at your key item list, you look at what's left, and it's like, okay, there are still certain things that would reward me right now. Like a Luca key, I'm down here, I probably go look at it. A pass, I'm really excited about a pass. We know it's not the pass, but yeah. So I don't know that I'm against doing the fight, but I really think hard before resetting out of this. If I dumped a save at the bottom, I that first save point, I'd probably reset out of this.
No, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I would also have definitely left a save mid tower.
Yeah.
I guess you complete this, reset, go to the tower key. It could be a boss, could be a key item, could be a lot of things. So yeah, it's very interesting. And to answer a question from chat, do we have a prediction on how many Edward strats for these fights we'll see in this tournament? My prediction, God's honest truth, is 0. I think you'll see some 1200 strats on some very quick flags, or very quick seeds, where you'll see like everything in the overworld, or everything but one in the overworld, and like a boss in Dwarf, where 1200 is just faster, and like no Sirens are available, no Tella, no Fu. I don't think you'll see Eddie strats. But down goes Plague on Asuka's side. Very well done.
Very nice. I will speak from personal experience, having run as many Red Moon flags as I have. I have never run Edward. I have done 1200 twice. I have also hit 7 bosses without getting a Darkness Crystal. But I had a pass in my hand. So, yeah, be prepared for it. You could have all 8 bosses on Earth. You could have 2 bosses on Earth, and the moon gate's 6. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what is going to make this great. You will see it both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you got to be prepared for everything. And Tower Key is Magus Sisters,
Aw.
and Tybalt, well, he is locked in the room, so got to
All
take
right,
the fight
moment
now.
for Asuka.
Oh,
Hi.
well,
Now.
we got Golbez, and this is a Golbez that
Kills
I don't
himself.
know if y'all have ever seen big numbers and how big the numbers are that you like to see, but there is a chance you'll see a quad 9 lit 3 from
Mhm.
Golbez here. Yeah,
Also, look who's right behind Asuka.
yeah, it's PK.
Yeah.
And PK has done Ruby, Kainatsu,
Yeah.
DKC Gauntlet, Baigen CPU. So this Golbez would represent number 7 for PK.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could put PK in the driver's seat. Very curious to see where Tybalt goes from here, but this is a heck of a play from both Asuka and PK to be making this giant endeavor. But it also kind of makes sense. You know, you don't necessarily need all those key items that Tybalt has. You know, the Magma Key doesn't really lead anywhere. The Pan doesn't really lead anywhere. The Tower Key, at least as of yet, has not been helpful. The Twin Harp, probably not required. Might be required. We don't know. But these are all the available boss checks that PK is exhausting. And he's going to hit here.
Yeah.
And I think that means that Wyvern is at Zot 2, Twin Harp,
Luca.
or Luca. I think those are the only 3 left.
Yeah. Now, okay. With Luca in my hand, I don't know if I'm doing the Pan. I think I'm doing Luca. I'm open for discussion.
Yeah, I mean,
You're at 6.
you have go mode.
Yeah. Well,
You with Luca in hand because you have access to every boss -1, which would be Zot 2.
exactly.
So the Pan can only represent realistically the pass as something that you would want. And maybe Tybalt is going to go pass hunting, and that's fine. Well, now Tybalt is in full-on go mode. He's got the Earth Crystal, the Luca Key, so
Yeah.
he's got every boss check available to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tybalt may very well show us where that Wyvern is, while Asuka and PK
There
show
it
us the Golbez.
Okay. I'm buying more boxed wine, I believe.
Yeah, if you ran out, it makes sense. Oh, nope, I thought we were going to get a name change there. Asuka going to be our first runner, though, to light up number 3 on the screen with PK
Yeah.
hot on her heels. So Asuka going to just be Ruby away from, Ruby and Baigen, excuse me, from potential go mode herself.
Mm-hmm. And PK getting the news that, why, yes, yes, this is your boss.
Something you don't want to see, but you want to see all at the same time.
Very much so. I don't blame him for the reset. I feel like this is going to be a party change to either enable Venom or people are
Yeah.
going to get really small.
Well, no Venom for PK because
No radio.
no radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, Flurry, the man who hates the package check, making the package check.
This is it. This is what this tournament is going to provide. Moments like this where you're just like, huh, who would have thought?
Yep, we have 4 runners. All of them are phenomenal in their own rights, and all of them are making plays that you would just never see
Yeah.
in traditional free enterprise, where you just wouldn't, in a normal tournament setting, if you will, that doesn't have a boss on focus. you just wouldn't see this sort of play, and it's phenomenal to see all of the divergence. Now, this is something that surprises me. Asuka has said goodbye to the Bard and picked up Sid. That is a choice, and I get why it's happening, but I'm going to have to make sure that we ask her about that.
Look, doesn't have a spoon in hand, and you notice Ed was kind of out of arrows. I mean, okay.
Well, that sounds like an Ed problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, they usually are Ed problems, aren't they? I really want Wyvern to be down here.
Tybalt and Wyvern here have a history as well.
Yes, they do. That's exactly why.
But yeah, Tybalt does have both the Luca key and the Earth Crystal, so he has access.
That might be the first functionally useful item I've seen that wasn't a key item.
It's a hilarious curse ring to get as well, because if you came down here without one and Wyvern was here,
oh yeah,
you would have a bad day. But that is King Queen Eblin. So that means either Twin Harp or Zot 2 has our Wyvern.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tybalt may give us the Zot check after this, or the Twin Harp check. I think we're going to find out where Wyvern is, courtesy of Tybalt. Unless we're going to the Feymarch. Well, hold that thought, because PK has defeated Golbez.
Hey.
And PK is our first runner, I believe, in Go mode, as I think that is his crystal for defeating 7 bosses. And yeah, there it is. So PK Go mode, 130-44. I don't know how much grinding he has to do. He doesn't have a pass, so he's going to have to head on up. But we also now see Flurry going to the Giant. I believe Flurry has completed Baron as well. So going to be a Giant behind PK, while Asuka is heading down the Moon, and we'll find her Baigen sooner than later.
Yeah. All right, Tybalt, what are you up to? What are you doing here?
It looks like he's going after something in the Feymarch. Maybe he didn't complete the guards?
Well, no, wait a minute. The guards had darkness. Oh,
they
he
didn't
never
do
did
orbs.
CPU. Oh,
okay. Well, take objective 1 off the board for Tybalt temporarily. He'll be through this soon enough. But I thought that he had had completed that. But we see Plague on Flurry's side. I wonder if we'll get a quick kill attempt here. We haven't seen one yet, which makes me sad, but I get it. It's very tough to pull off as well.
Mm-hmm. Also, hey, Possum, you know what feels really bad, but at the same time, it's still kind of a good feeling? Having to walk the entire LST twice.
Well, it feels better when no one has finished yet in the entire race.
That's true.
It doesn't feel good that you have to do it, but when no one is done yet and you are making that walk down, it does feel a little better. So you know that, okay, this seed has been something else. I have a grand total of 7 key items at the hour-and-a-half mark. And keep in mind, a runner of PK's caliber being at 7 key items at an hour 30 is a testament to to what we've been provided with tonight. So you gotta love it. But PK making the choice to not hunt key items, just to hunt every available boss spot, and he hit. And that's one of the interesting things. We have Tybalt, who has 12 key items. Will be at 13 with his crystal, and maybe 14 or 15 by the end of the Harp and Zot if he goes that route. You don't need all those key items, because that's where the boss hunts, where they kind of ignore your traditional logic. That's where they come out to play. It leads to situations that are wildly divergent, and you'll love to see it.
Yep, very much so.
So PK mid-40s on levels. Not the worst setup. I think he should be pretty fine here. Has some Bacchus wine, and I think he's going to be more than happy to take this party into Z.
Oh yeah. I mean, a Rosa with Cure 4, and yeah. It's we've done it with worse.
Oh yeah. I mean, double Ninja Blade Edge, Kane with a Blizzard Spear. We've definitely seen worse. Martin, I got a question for you though.
Yes.
Yeah, why is chat getting spammed right now, and can we block that?
Well, I'm not an admin, so the answer is no. If I was an admin, the answer would still be no. They're just telling me that, Martin, you don't sleep enough, which I already know. But,
yeah,
but
you don't.
No, I don't. But you know who doesn't get a sleep right now is this Zeramis character that's soon to be on our screen. Why is that?
Because Zeramis is always awake watching us from its perch up in the sky or on the moon.
And we can't finish the game with him, unfortunately, still existing. So
that's true. Well, Martin, I guess while this crystal is being thrown, there's a question that I'd like you to ask because I get to ask it too much.
Who is Zeramis cosplaying as tonight?
Yeah, sure, that'll work.
Okay. And also, is the cosplay cute?
Probably not.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, they're all wonderful artistically, but there's some sketchy ones out there, not gonna lie.
There really are.
Like Wrinklemas, not a fan.
Yeah. No,
Lunamus.
Let's see. I mean, that's a good cosplay.
Yeah, Maskmas.
Yeah.
That'll work.
All right.
Yeah, so PK, I think he actually...
I thought it'd be a crystal sword.
It was a crystal sword. Fantastic. Martin, you warlock. Hey, Vanilla.
Yay!
Rat tail led to, well, nothing.
Nope.
I am very curious that Tybalt is making all of these checks and, turning all of this in, rat tail, pink tail wise.
He must not want to go back to the moon. Like, it's...
That's fair.
For it's like, okay, I need to walk the entire LST. Well, I go find the bass.
Yeah.
Well, about that.
Yeah. Oh, shoutouts to Young. Was that a hit for 1,300? Are you doing a Kane impression?
Nice.
Edge 2,000, Kane 2,000, Yang 1,600. These are 3 Zerkers that are doing things.
Wow. But, like we said, this is what you're going to have to beat Z with.
Yeah.
It's this, probably less, sometimes more, but yeah, make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tybalt is going to give us a harp check.
Hey.
Hopefully, we get the music before we get the crumble so we can get the sounds. You know what? I'll just talk through it anyway. It'll be fine.
There you go. There were words.
Also, I love the little graphical distortion on Tybalt's side there. I think he was cycling through his characters as the box came up, and it caused the distortion on the coloration.
Yeah, the palette change. Yeah. Penkrez was talking about that last night, actually, where it's like if you push R at the exact point you hit one of the tiles, the trigger tiles, that it switches the palette to the like last whatever to touch that tile.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Always fun stuff.
Yeah. Just little tech things.
All right, so Daphnis called SMRPG. I'm going to call Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. What are you looking for?
I personally have not had Arcana in a very long time. I'm overdue for some.
Well, this is probably the point at which we're supposed to shush. So, yeah. Have fun with the music, y'all. And we'll get back to the Z fight for PK soon. Okay, bye!
Soon TM. Don't worry, Possum. I'll take care of the beer and chimkin. Wow, look at that.
Hey, it's convenient for Tybalt as
I
well.
would say, talk about a finisher, right? Like, if you need to finish the seed, at least let me kill a boss and get the pass as a reward afterwards.
Yeah, and the best part is Tybalt just has to go take out Ruby, and I think he'll be on his way. We have rocks on PK's side, though. We have no finishers yet. I think Kane and Yang probably get there. I'm hoping.
Maybe.
I think he's out of life potions. He's got Bacchus wine, though.
People being alive, that's optional. That's fine.
I think he's trying to figure out who he wants cures on. I think Sid is going to be on emergency duty here.
So, hey, Possum.
Yeah.
As we are all guilty of it, want to take a wild guess on who forgot Ruby was the opener? Yeah.
Was it Tybalt?
Yeah, pretty sure it was. Yep. I haven't done that in the last 24 hours.
PK? Young? Punch! Kill! Go! Do the thing! Young! One more! That better do it! Oh boy. Uh-oh. This needs to roll really low. Oh,
Kidding
no!
me? 3 HP?
Oh.
What? I
Not
mean,
like
honestly,
this.
that needed to be like 920 because of the ticks at the end that still kill you afterwards.
Not the point.
Still, wow. 3 HP. Welcome to Red Moon, folks.
Well, I guess while we have that moment, let's catch everyone else up on all of the things that happened. Flurry got go mode.
Yeah.
Asuka is making her way through the moon. I believe has everything done but getting this Baron key, and that will take her to Ruby. Tybalt has, I believe, as you stated, forgotten that Ruby is the boss at Baron, but will probably be there soon, and has the pass.
Oh, I was wondering if Asuka was gonna pull the trigger on it. Just leave and go do Twin Harp.
But also worth noting, off stream, we do have a couple of finishers that have come in whilst everything else was going on. Judge Joe coming in with a first place time of 1:40.21 would have just edged out PK had PK not had that unfortunate wipe by a couple of seconds. They were, I guess, very, very close because that dot done came in during, I think, the first meteor for PK. And Solaris in second place with a time of 1:42.27. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were number 1 and 2 in Friday's community race for Blue Moon as well. So I think we have a repeat of the top 2 there.
That's the pair of very talented individuals, aren't they?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And yeah, Judge Joe, one of those who is eligible for both Blue Moon and Red Moon and is opting to play Red Moon, is my understanding as well. So definitely looking forward to competing with him in the Red Moon flag set. He has shown amazing improvement in a very short time in Free Enterprise, and a very nice young man as well. Oh, I feel old now, having said that. Dang.
You are old.
I am old.
You're just not older.
No, that's you.
Yeah. Thanks.
No problem.
Uh-huh. What's your favorite beer, Possum?
Not Blue Moon, how's that?
Okay. I'm gonna put 2 oranges in it just for you.
How dare you? No, my favorite beer is Spaten Optimater.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's also good beer.
That was some good Mystic Quest music, wasn't it?
It really was. I'm happy I got it.
Yeah. How do you spell that? Are you actually asking Possum to spell something?
I am decent at spelling, thank you.
Are you sure about that?
No.
Okay.
I'm probably better at spelling than math,
Well,
but that doesn't say much.
awesome. That's like putting the bar on the ground and saying, "Here, step over it." Like that doesn't take a lot of effort. Well, so one time, the other half of we might get to see Forge.
Yeah.
We might get to see Super Smith.
Super Smith is a good time. It may or may
is.
not give you something useful for your party.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. It's supposed to give you something useful for your party?
Nope. Sure isn't.
Okay. I was gonna say otherwise my seeds are like broken all the time. I never get anything useful.
I mean, you get useful things, just not for your party.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time I get Cecil starts, I always get like Sunrise Boomerangs.
Mm.
It's a great time. And Mitsuno's and Sasuke and yeah. It's like the game wants to be like, boy, you really should have had an edge.
Yeah, there will be those seeds
There will.
where you get all of the edge gear and no edge. And then you have this seed where outside of the masa that was found, you really didn't find too much until you got underground. So
Yeah.
it was like Mute Knife Short Sword for a lot of folks, which was admittedly great against Asura.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
But we have Flurry making his way towards the Z fight, Tybalt making his way towards Ruby, PK making his way towards Rocks, and Asuka making her way towards, I imagine, what is going to be the
Music.
Twin Harp,
Yep.
which will pay off.
Yep. I love it. I love the variance and all this. This is gonna be so much fun to commentate this.
It is. It's going to be great.
It is.
I look forward to commentating both flag sets. The Blue Moon and the Red
Oh,
Moon,
yeah.
they have a lot of differences to them, and I think they both, obviously being one of the folks who helped design them,
Mhm.
they have a special place in my heart. But I just love the variants. I love all of the different paths that people can take to get where they need to go in the seeds, and test out different skills, whether it be efficiency with power overwhelming, or as you put it, power over stupid. Or a seed like this where you don't necessarily have power overwhelming and it's more of a puzzle. So I look forward to watching both and all of the amazing runners in both moons as well. I think it's going to be phenomenal to see.
Yeah. For anybody wondering, by the way, there is still time to sign up. I mean, you've
Mhm.
got 11 days and some change left to sign up for the tournament if you want to enter. Red's open to everybody. Blue's open to almost everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, go read the rules. Go enter. It's gonna be a blast. Not only
Absolutely
the
will
racing,
be.
but you get restreamed, and then you can come back and watch it and listen to Possum and myself commentate on your race. That's like twice the victory.
Yeah, probably not. But GG's, speaking of victory, to PK, finishing in first place on Restream, fifth place overall with a time of 1:48:02. And we will see if we can get the man, the myth, the legend, the PK, in for an interview. And with that dinging in our ears, I believe we are joined by that man, that myth, that legend, PK. GG, sir.
I wanted to be so cheeky on that Z fight, and it just did not work.
You got really close.
It was.
I had to have done like 10-5 damage with that Yang and just not gotten it. Also, my edge with a ninja shirt and a protector and can't dodge one Meteo. I mean,
Yep.
He tried? Question
Yeah.
mark?
And failed. Exclamation point.
I went for the meme. I mean, Rosa gets rolled really hard on the Big Bang. I don't know.
It happens.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, talk us through kind of your thoughts on the seed in general. For something that only gave you 7 total key items, I can't imagine you play many seeds where you get 7 key items and finish north of an hour 40.
Yeah, there weren't any key items. And then when I got Darkness, I was basically like, okay, you know what? Let's go do it. The top down got me that Baron key. I knew that had to be Rubicant. That 8-line fight was slow because my anchoring was bad. But then, I was kind of committed. I left saves all around the world if that hadn't have been Golbez, but I didn't want to go. I didn't want to walk up that tower and take that sparkle that I had seen at the top of tower, because what if it's not Wyvern, and then all of a sudden maybe I'm chasing something from there because I have no key items when I already have Darkness in hand. So I was like, I'll fade it.
Also, what if it is Wyvern? That's a hard fight.
Yeah. I assume it wasn't Wyvern, though, I imagine.
It was not. Wyvern was actually hiding at the harp.
Okay.
Which was from the White Spear altar, I think.
Okay. So yeah, then I don't hate my choices. I didn't need to take that Odin fight, but I read 2 Thunderclaws. And then even after I beat Odin and it didn't give it a key item, I decided to reset out of it because I didn't want to have to re-equip people with not Thunderclaws.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like my routing went, I was fine with it. I think, yeah. All things considered, if I just actually take that Zeromus fight the first time like an adult, I feel pretty good about the run.
Yeah, I think you would have.
I probably forfeited out. I bet second.
Yeah.
So, I'm fine with that. I can live with that.
Yeah, so we were looking at, I think the Judge Joe's .done came in as your first set of rocks hit. So y'all were seconds apart, and had you just played it straight
I wouldn't.
You would have been right there.
First, I would have taken second.
Yeah.
Given the routing that I was doing, I probably should have just reset that Odin immediately, and that might have made the difference if, all things considered, looking at the times. But I wiped his Zeromus, so it didn't really matter that much. Poor Yang. I couldn't find a single claw for Yang to get strength. It was always the plan of like, okay, I'll get a Full Moon and I'll back row edge, and then Yang and Kane will be my front row fighters. And
yeah,
poor guy just sitting there with just his Fire Claw, Thunder Claw, whatever it was.
We wanted to ask you as well about your choice to go with Yang instead of taking and keeping the Rydia. With Leviathan available, you didn't know Leviathan was available, but you had Sylph, you had, I want to say, a Charm Rod, a Black Shirt, a Rune Ring. Like, what was the choice to keep the third Zerker over your only Black Mage in the seed?
My theoretical idea there was Yang, at worst case, would be a chemist for the Z fight.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't, with I figured I would find Ninja Swords or something. So I wasn't really like, Rydia would have been cool for maybe like a fight or two, but at the end of the day, excluding like a CPU fight, I figured like worst case, I'll just throw Yang in the back row and he can be a chemist. Like, I have some Cure 2s, I have some elixirs. Like, he's gonna have more utility for me, I think, throughout the seed than sitting through a bunch of animations of summon casts, which I don't know if it was right or wrong, but that was at least my thought.
Well, fair enough. Martin, any questions for PK? I hogged the mic. I apologize.
No, you covered just about everything.
Martin, are you joining this tournament? You Possum?
I am. Yes, I'll be in Red Moon. I can't speak for Martin. Are you also going to be Red Moon, PK?
Well, if I join, I have no choice but to be Red Moon. still up in the air. Considering it, there's just with anything that goes this long, there are always some scheduling conflicts that I have to make sure, like, if the situation arises that I'm still in this tournament in 6 weeks, that I can actually play those games, because I don't want to, like, forfeit 6 weeks into a tournament.
Yeah, life does definitely happen.
Life finds a way to interfere with much more important things. Like
so does dying the media by 3 HP. Yeah, that happens too.
The previous roll on that too was 900, and then it hit for 940. If it had hit for 900, then maybe I die during the crumble. But
yep.
So many things have to go wrong.
Hey, GG's regardless. It was a heck of a run. It was definitely a pleasure to watch.
Thank you, much appreciated. I see Flurry is finished behind me, but has finished. So, I mean, go ahead and ask Flurry why I'm so much better than him.
We'll make it a point that that's our first question to him.
Yeah.
All right, and thank you, Possum Martin. I'm definitely looking forward to watching this back. Dathis, I have nothing to say to you, and JMac for tracking.
You best behave when you talk about your GM like that.
Look, Krupp pulls the daggers. Krupp knows what to do. You all have a good night. Take care.
All right, take care, PK.
GG's again, PK. And in the meantime, we did also have some other finishers. We'll get Flurry in just a second. Roger McBain in third, Mike in fourth, Flurry in sixth overall, and Harumph in seventh overall. But we'll see if we can get Flurry in, who did finish second on Restream, sixth overall, and find out why PK is just faster and better than him, apparently.
Yeah. I do have one other pressing question while we wait for PK, though.
For Flurry.
You did say Harumph finished in seventh, right?
Yes.
You think he did twin her?
No.
I don't either. I really don't.
And we also see, I believe that was Rocks on Tybalt's side, and we have a Jumping Kane as someone who recently finished his E-fight jumping over Medio. Yeah, well done to Tybalt jumping that one. But I believe we are now joined by Flurry. And first of all, GG Flurry, and second of all, why is PK so much better and faster than you at for Enterprise?
Well, he has... That doesn't check out in tournament. I'll leave it at that.
Shots fired. Love it.
And he's 1 for 3 on this set, so that's great if you're playing baseball.
I was gonna say, or the New York Jets, either or.
Good for him. I guessed wrong. That will do it for him. Congrats.
So anyway, realistic questions and things like that. Thoughts overall on the seed? I know that you had talked about, being in races where like 30 plus bosses are required and stuff like that. Wasn't necessarily the case today, but it started to approach it. Kind of what were your thoughts going through just the seed in general?
Yeah, this is one of those dangerous seeds where you have so few key items that you feel bad fading anything. But then when you take a fight that doesn't actually have anything, and you're like, well, I didn't need to do that, that's 2 to 3 minutes. And there were a lot of those. So, like, all right, I guess you see a shiny at the top of the tower, you take that, and you take the free Leviathan spot. But things like, the Bahamut fight, with more key items, I skip that. The Odin fight with more key items, I skip that. Stuff like that. But that's where the trickiness of a boss hunt flag set comes in. If you have a lot of key items, you feel a little better fading. When you're sitting on like 6 an hour 10 into the game, like, well, there's either some kind of massive chain in there, or the pan just leads to everything. Do I even want to fall down that trap? So once the package check failed, and package and I aren't on speaking terms anyway, so I was like, all right, I mean, I'll check the giant if Golbez is there. I'll get an okay finish, but it's not winning.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that you and the package not exactly the best of pals. Speaking from the tournament history portion,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, as far as the seed itself, you played very well. It was certainly an odd one, given how few key items were truly required, to complete everything. But sticking to your guns, if you will, and making those face checks rather than hunting down all the key items, it did get you there. Maybe a couple minutes behind, but it still got you there.
Yeah, I try to make sure I'm only doing an action that is going to reveal a boss, but that is really hard to do when you have so few key items and you're like, where is everything? I think on average when we, full clear Earth or come close to doing it, and I think in that seed we did full clear Earth. You're usually left with like, I'd say on average like 8 or 9, and we were nowhere near that. So it was kind of tricky, but those exceptions are going to come up. That's what practice is for. Be ready for that stuff. And yeah, I didn't see all 30 bosses. I think I saw 29. So I'm missing 5, so 28. But yeah, I bet it was a pretty fun seed to watch. That little serendipity in finding the mute dagger in what would normally be an otherwise unnecessary Evelyn check, and then hey, there's Asura. I almost had to do the old I forgot and didn't mark down who the initial boss was at Baron, so start a new game 70 minutes in to see who that boss is. But Baron seemed like the play to make anyway, so I was like, all right, I'll just do it and maybe no one will notice. And it turned out it was Ruby, so like, all right. I was really hoping that Ruby sprite at Cave Bahamut was actually it. And then I would have felt a lot better about making the plays that I did, but it happens. Still, I think this is a flag set where playing linearly is going to get you burned more often than not. You can't just like go for key items and just go. You have to gamble somewhere, some way, and I think to that effect, not gambling is almost a gamble in and of itself. But like you got to make some kind of action. So you hope it's the right one. You play as much as you can to get used to making those gambles and see where that takes you.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I kind of agree with that. The ability to kind of change on the fly, seed by seed, going to be very interesting to see everyone adapt to that and see how they do with it, and if they're able to do it, not just in Red Moon flags, but also in Blue Moon. So it'll be very interesting to watch, and I, for one, am going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I think in boss hunts in general, there's just so many ways to go off that beaten path.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is no beaten path with a boss hunt. So, you're kind of, like I said, figuring it out on the fly, and that is a way to keep it fresh without having, I think last time we put boss hunts in significant was about 2.5 years ago in Football Gauntlet, and there was a little bit of that in this flag set, but it also came with 505, and we know how that could turn out. So I think this flag set works out nicely for a boss hunt that is not totally aggravating. Like this flag set's really fun. I've had a lot of enjoyment with it, and looking forward to see how it plays out in the tournament.
Definitely. And speaking of that, are you planning on joining the tournament? And if so, I think you would be locked into Red Moon, but are you planning on joining?
Yeah, I heard it was a good idea to join 3 rando events at once, so that's what I'm gonna do.
So
I'm
we
in
can
Ultras
watch
League for Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
Signed up for this, and signed up for the Career Day main tournament that signups end this week. So gonna do all 3. all three randos have their own things that are just absolutely awesome about them, and I love grinding out stuff that I'm not good at, and there's plenty of that in all three of these, really. So, yeah, definitely going to be in this tournament. We'll still get in, I think, a fair amount of practice. You know, if PK wants to continue offering himself during the pickups on the weekends, I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, we do have a best of 103 to start at some point in time, so we can also do that.
Also true. Well, we look forward to watching you in, not just the FE tournament, but all three randos. And good luck and Godspeed in those.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate the time that you guys spent to get these community races running. Always fun to see. And really, really excited for this event. Like, I could say this is probably the event that, as an admin team, I don't want to say put the most pre-planning work in, because they all have a lot of work, but this one was a lot of work for us to get to where we are, and I really, really hope that the community gets a lot of enjoyment out of this event, because we've put a lot of work into it, and I hope you all like what we got for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again, Flurry. Always a pleasure, not only to race against you, but also get to commentate on one of your races and watch and learn. So thank you for volunteering this evening.
Yeah, you bet. You guys have a good one. Go Mets.
Go Mets indeed. And we will see if we can get Tybalt in here for an interview. While we are getting him in here, we'll make a note that actually every runner in this race has now finished. So the time, or the delta on this one, only between about an hour 40 and 2:05, which is a testament to just how dang good everyone is. But we are joined now by Tybalt. GG's to you.
GG's.
Martin, I feel like you had a question for Tybalt.
No.
Okay. No. I'll ask it then. Tybalt. Starting boss.
Yeah.
Go.
I completely missed what it was, so I didn't see it. And yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
You ran really well, actually, to be completely frank. You were second underground, but only about a minute behind PK, but you had done all of Eblin, which gave you a Masa. And you were plowing through checks a lot faster overall. You were up on the moon, took out Baigen first of everyone on Restream, and then just kind of had that unfortunate situation with the Ruby, but otherwise you were playing phenomenally well. So I just wanted to congratulate you on a very thorough, obviously, run, but you did really, really well.
Thank you. Thinking about it in hindsight, like, if I'd known Ruby was there, I mean, I still checked Twin Heart before going to the Giant. Like, I'm not gonna go there. And it just happened to route in so perfectly at the time where, oh yeah, Fey Merchant to take all the damage to do Twin Heart. And it paid out being Wyvern. I was so happy.
Well, Wyvern and the pass.
Yeah, which is, I'm like, ooh, Wyvern, pass, best music ever. Sweet. Man, I figured get to the booth sooner. And hopefully, because there was like nothing for key items in the overworld. Nothing.
You had a package and a hook. Something.
Yeah.
And a Dragoon armor, and
And a black shirt, and a vampire.
and vampire.
And a big bomb.
I reset out of Antline. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna waste the dart on this. No. That Odin was not very fun. Had some issues.
Would recommend watching back the VOD. Martin gave a nice detailed explanation on how to make that work 100% of the time for you.
I knew I had everything.
You did.
I had the soak web. I had, and then I could just actually survive the hits. You know, it was just like, well, what's the point?
But yeah, so as far as you know, the flag set as a whole, you seem to have adapted fairly well to it. I did want to ask about keeping Rydia down and then finding all of the summons that you could ever want. Was there ever a decision where you might have gone back and picked her up and kept her on the team? Like, what was kind of your thought with that?
I figured at that point, since I kept her down for so long, I was committed to keeping her as an anchor. I hadn't actually thought about her, you know, with Warp Glitch being off. I had found exits for sale, so having the availability of the Warp Cast for getting out of, like, the moon or other locations just wasn't really in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, I'll walk out of Luca, fine. The biggest thing is the moon. Not finding the exits when I did probably keep the Rydia around, at least level up to at least Warp, so I can get out of the moon faster. But with most of the party being Zerkers, like, I just... And then everything started showing up for Rydia, and I'm like, I'm already too committed.
Fair enough. Final question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sell the Bahamut. Sell the Crystal Sword.
Yeah, no Cecil. Have a Crystal Sword. That's how it always works.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So last question for you is kind of a two-parter. Are you planning on joining ZZ5? And if so, which are you going for? Either a Red Moon or Blue Moon?
Well, I am joining ZZ5. I've already registered, and I'm going Red Moon.
Nice.
I feel like I'm kind of at that midpoint. Like, I can technically go in between either one, but I know if I'm not part of a certain group of people, I would probably be gated within the Red Moon, so I don't want to be one of the sharks in Blue Moon.
Gotcha.
Give me a challenge. Bring on the pain from Red Moon.
Well, fair enough. Martin, any questions for Tibalt?
I mean, you covered most everything. Yeah. So.
Is it like the Job Dwarf?
Yeah, it was appropriate for your naming.
It was.
Your
Very
naming
much so.
convention for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a good laugh out of that.
Yeah. Music was also very appropriate too.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Called it as well. Wanted it to be Mystic Quest music, and we got it. So I know that you're a big Mystic Quest fan as a runner of it. So that was awesome. I was happy with that.
As always, you know, I love watching these back, and I know both of you, great amount of knowledge between the both of you, so I know watching this back, I'm probably going to learn something here or there. Thanks to JMac for doing all the tracking. I know I reset out some things, but not too many key items. And Dathis, let it get randomized. There was a few vanilla things in there.
Yeah, not key items, though.
Yes.
Just the package.
Package and adamant.
Oh, that's true.
Well, that's all for me. Have a great night.
All right. Take care, Tybalt.
GG's again.
Not bad,
All
Paul.
right. Yeah, not bad at all. Let's see. I don't know if we're gonna get Oscar in for an interview or not. I know that she is still running privately, but did FF from the race officially. So we'll see if we can get her in for an interview. Not certain what her status is on that. But in the interim, Martin, you were saying it's about, what, 10 to 12 days until
Yeah.
signups are over? So folks can still certainly get in if they want.
I read the document. I'm pretty sure maybe it said August 13th at midnight Eastern was
Oh.
the deadline.
Well, there you go.
Someone will probably tell me I'm wrong, but that's okay. I'm think maybe. Oh, math is hard.
It really is. But speaking of things that are fantastic, like this tournament, we're joined by a wonderful free enterprise runner, the Queen of the Puffs, Asuka. GG's, Asuka.
that was adorably a big old lie. So let's no.
No, incorrect. So I will have you know that having done the package check and Zot 1 and the save scum of D-Mist, you were only like 3 minutes behind Flurry getting underground, 4 minutes
figured.
behind Tibalt, and like 5 behind BK.
To be fair,
You
that was also a very blazingly easy hook route.
Yes, but
So-
you were right there behind 3 runners who I know you would say something to the effect of, they're better than me, I'm not good at this game. You are good at this game. And you were sticking right there with them, even doing all those extra checks. So I just want to say you ran really heckin' well.
Yes.
I mean, I'm done trying to hide the fact that I don't suck at this game. I just don't play like y'all. And because of that, I get burned in the process. So I just, yeah. That's why I do the stupid stuff.
I'm just gonna blame the fact that the reason why is I don't see an Edward in your party right now.
I didn't need him anymore.
Yeah.
That's all.
What was it, because he ran out of arrows? Is that why you got rid of him?
No.
Oh,
I saw Dark Knight, and I saw where it was. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a cheeky butt and just kill him. Because I know I could take the fight, so whatever. That was honestly the only reason I was keeping him. Where am I in this? Yeah.
Fair enough. So as far as the flags, the seed as a whole, what were your thoughts? Do you have any words for Dathis, as many of our other runners have?
Dathis, I'll learn. Do you remember how to roll actually hard seeds? Because you should start doing that.
Wow.
Wow, that was some shots fired.
Ow.
Wow, that hurts.
No, honestly, I mean, these flag sets aren't difficult, but this is also the one type of thing I actually really enjoy. That's boss hunts. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I'm still probably not going to enter the tournament, to be honest. I don't like being cannon fodder for people, and it's still kind of stung that one of my good friends totally forgot that this would not be my first tournament. So yeah, I know where I belong, and it is not as a racer. So
Well,
I mean, I don't mind it.
I would disagree with that, but it's you can't change the way that people feel. So
I know.
it is what it is. But you ran really well tonight. I do want to say that, and it was it was a pleasure to watch you run. I know that you said that you're probably not going to join the tournament, but personally, would love to see you join it. I'd like to see how well you do, because I don't think you would be fodder for folks. I really don't.
I can't not check the fun things. That's my problem, because I don't like running the math. That's why I did all those stupid checks, because I'm pretty sure the intelligent runners that were also on Restream would not check those, because they're not mathematically good. That's why I went straight to the giant instead of the moon, because I figured, well, mathematically, there's more checks on the moon, and hi Golbez.
Yeah, but then they pay
Yeah.
off.
The way the flag set's designed, it'll pay off, but not enough to make it in my favor, or to turn it in my
Fair enough.
favor, which is frustrating. Like if it was 6 of 8, oh, game on.
Yeah.
If it honestly, if it was 6 of 8, I would be in Red Moon, and I actually would try, because bluntly, this is the very first red flag set I've ever done.
Well, I will say I'm glad to hear the laughter and hear the bubbliness and hear that you're excited to play. Like regardless of the tournament or not, I'm happy that you're happy. Playing these flags. I think that's a really cool thing to come out of this. Is that we have a large group of folks, yourself included, who do actually love the boss hunt aspect of things and love how different it is from the traditional free enterprise experience. So I love hearing that from yourself and others.
Well, the funny thing is it really isn't. It's a different type of objective. That's all. You don't have to get key items. The bosses themselves are the key items. That's the way I've always seen it. But that's just me. That's just I'm not good at this, me.
You can keep trying to say that. It's not going to work, though.
Eh. It is what it is.
Martin, anything for Asuka?
No. You play. I know. I'll say you played well. You'll disagree, etc., so forth. But it was a lot of fun to watch.
If I would have played well, I wouldn't have chickened out and actually went for the nerf on the Big Bang that killed me. Because I knew I had it if I immediately got into the menu. The timing was close, but I knew I had it. And I cowered it out. So I died. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my little bit of frustration.
Well, I'm gonna echo Possum and hope to see you back soon, TM, because you are a treat to watch, and regardless of what you may think, you are still talented at this. So.
I'm okay. I just do the weird stuff. The one thing I hold very near and dear to my heart, because it was Poydrak that said it, and yeah, I've always had a soft spot for Poydrak, is that I can make the impossible possible. I don't believe it, but the fact that he said it makes me happy. So that's what I go with. Even though I just derped another Big Bang and lost in Medio Face. So there's that. But yeah, thanks to you, Martin and Possum, for commentating, JMac for tracking, Deathis for restreaming. I hope the meme went well. I'm looking forward to going back and listening to it. If you haven't followed them, what the fluff? Same thing with the actual good players that I was shown with, PK4787, Tybalt, and Flurry14. Follow them, watch some good free enterprise. I'm out because I actually have to go do a marathon tech check. So I gotta get going.
Well, have fun, Asuka, and thank you as always for joining us.
Yep. GG's.
GG's. Hey, Martin.
Hey, Possum.
None of us got fired. Deathis included.
I thought you were going to lead with I still owe you a beer. And,
Oh, well,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
talk about the beer and chicken afterwards.
Okay, that's fair. Are you sure Deathis isn't fired, though?
Yes, probably.
Maybe.
Not my decision. Anyway, so, Red Moon flags. That was fun. We got to see a whole lot of divergence and a whole lot of cool stuff.
I mean, they're not all going to be like that, but boy, do I wish they were.
Right? It was exciting.
It really was.
We just need Deathis to roll all of them. So, anyway, our runners.
This idea.
Right?
That's
our
great.
runners, if you haven't followed them, PK, Tybalt, Asuka, Flurry, give them all a follow. They are deserving of your love, your adoration, etc., so on and so forth. Our man behind the scene, Deathis. You rolled a good one, buddy. Well done. JMac on tracking. Probably could have taken the first hour off, but really picked up steam the second hour. So very well done, JMac, tracking a 4-person race by yourself. Tough task. Not envious of you whatsoever. Martin.
Hi.
My co-commentator. Give him a follow. He's actually streaming again, so you should follow him too.
Don't spoil it. Sheesh.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that was fun. everyone involved. Great job. And I think what we have the Eblin Spelunking Club tomorrow, I believe. I think we have Music Appreciation Wednesday. We have, oh gosh, something probably on Thursday. Pink Puff. Oh, we're off tomorrow. My apologies. And then Friday, Community Race will be this flag set one more time. But there's always more free enterprise, right, Martin? I know that the tournament starts in 2 weeks, but we got to be going somewhere.
We are. But first, go follow Possum, too, because he omits himself from ever saying go follow him.
I do.
He knows quite a bit, and you could learn a few things from this guy. You can learn a lot of things from this guy. Who am I kidding? We're going to go see Tall Grant. I hear Tall Grant's running a current async that is going on, so we should go say hi.
Yeah, Tall Grant is good people. Runs a club as well. So we are going to go visit Tall Grant. Remember, as we go visiting, do not spoil anything about this race, as it was really fun, and anyone over there, Tall Grant included, who may want to watch it back, yeah, let's not ruin that experience for them, because an experience it was. So have a great night, friends, and we'll catch you next time.
Soon, TM. Good night.
And we're clear.
And not fired.
Nope.
I know
you
she
guys
didn't
like
say
that?
demoted, though. You could be